Hey everyone, this is Home Game. I'd like to talk about a sword pal that I just made. First off, when I say sword pal, I mean some kind of tool to drill and refine body mechanics in reference to medieval or dark age style fighting. So I'm hitting it with like mock swords and things like that. I'll use my shield so I can examine transition work and stuff like that. What I built is for my office, so it's a little different than other Pells I've seen, but we'll get to that. First off, I found this interesting little medieval type image. I don't know how historically accurate it is, but I liked it. It looks good, and this is like an early depiction of this person practicing on something like what I'm talking about. Just drilling sword work on this tree limb that's sticking out of the ground. Uh, and they have a shield too. Um, Above their head, I wonder what they're attempting to drill with the shield above their head, but it still looks awesome. This is it's an upright 4x4 wrapped in rope and tape with supporting crossboards along the base. Um, this one also has some targets on it for specific drills that whoever made this wanted to practice, I assume. And that's it's kind of a nice thing to be like, hey, what kind of Pell are you working with, and why did you do this thing? Um, because maybe the blue marks are, areas that they chose to practice their stabs on, or something like that. The red might indicate, head level, or yellow mid torso, orange hips, and white and under might be, under the shins. Um, Green to denote where the shoulder placement might be. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but they obviously customized it to their needs. This is another upright 4x4 wrapped in rope, but it looks like they sunk an aluminum tube, or it might be a PVC tube, though I would think that might crack, into a bucket with some quickcrete maybe, or just some sand. The sand might shift around too much. That might be just quickcrete in a Home Depot bucket. Um, which this works perfectly fine. I've seen numerous people doing something like this. They put a couple of boards across the bottom to help brace it, because if you really lay into it, you're gonna be knocking this thing over. Here someone nailed a couple of 4x4s together and put them upright, and then framed them out with some support boards of 2x4s. 2x4s together. I don't know what's under the burlap on this one. It's probably rope, because that's a common thing to use. You could just buy a heavy bag uh, and hit it with sticks, and that could also be a Pell. I found one on sale one time and just bought it and had it delivered to a friend's house. And we just threw duct tape on it to signify hit zones and hung it up. I mean, I think I found a big one for maybe $80 or so, and I was like, sold, grabbed it. And it works just fine. This is a standing bag. Like, if you don't have a spot to hang a bag, these generally, you got to fill them with sand or water. I really didn't want that in my office. I was looking at them. I was looking at some used versions of them on, like Facebook Marketplace, because everyone's kid wants one until they get one and never use it, and then the parents are trying to sell it off. I really didn't want this giant heavy thing full of sand or full of water, especially sitting in my office on my hardwood floors. Some people get these. I would have loved to grab one of these. They're Century Bobs. Um, but they're between like $300 and $400. Like if I saw one on sale, I'd potentially grab it. Um, Also, if I'm going to be sleeping in this room, this might not be the thing I want sitting in my corner. I'm planning on putting a bed in the corner here. Um, for when my snoring gets to be a little bit too much for my wife, or we have guests over, they could sleep there. And having a cold, soulless eyes staring at you all night long may not be the the most soothing night's sleep. So here's what I came up with. And I kind of came up with it by chance because I put when I have people coming over, I usually put up my banner, my heraldry for the game that I play. I'll put it up in the yard, so when people are driving around, it's real easy to spot. Not a whole lot of people have this white boar banner hanging in their front yard. And while I was waiting for a friend to come over, I just started, practice drilling on it from the backside, which is just a pole inside of an umbrella stand. And I was like, well, this might be something. This might be the thing I was trying to figure out. Because I've been trying to figure out a clean way to put a Pell in my office for a little bit. So I was playing around with that and like, yeah, this might be it. So I went up to Menards. It's a local home. It's like a local hardware slash miscellany store. Um, they're spreading out. I don't know how far they've spread, but and I picked up a curtain rod, or not a curtain rod. Like a closet clothing rod. It was $15. It's poplar. They had an oak one too, but it was twice the amount, so I just got the poplar one. So I picked up that. They had some fat fanoodles there. So I grabbed one of those. I grabbed a regular fanoodle, and I grabbed a couple rolls of duct tape. And I crammed this fat fanoodle down onto the curtain rod, onto the clothing rod. I had to cut the clothing rod down, this much, which is about 8 inches. Because I didn't like how high it was going. It's taller than after I put it in the stand. It was taller than 6 feet, and that's kind of unnecessarily tall. So I didn't use any adhesive or anything on the fanoodle because it's pretty snug. I just crammed it down there, and I wrapped it in duct tape, and that's what it looks like. So it's a lightly padded wooden pole in an umbrella stand. And I have like this weaved leather carpet that I picked up from somewhere. Threw that under it so it wasn't directly on the floor. And honestly, it'll be decent for lightweight. Honestly, I wouldn't have petted it at all, except for I didn't want my dog downstairs to go crazy over the clicking noises in my office. So I threw some padding on it, and the base actually kind of echoes a bit. I'm gonna cut out a piece of like high density foam to kind of shove underneath it to see if it stops the echo. But it's pretty sleek. I mean, it 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 doesn't take over the room. It would be easy for me to store if I had to because I can just slide the whole pole out, tuck it away in the closet, or throw the whole thing in the closet. But also, just because I put my Pell in the umbrella stand doesn't mean it's not still an umbrella stand. So I can remove the Pell, take the umbrella stand, and still use it for its intended purpose. Yeah, I mean, That's it right there. I put 7. I just bought the red and put 7 red lines on it, you know, just for targets to aim at. The top one's probably pretty close to head level, and in my game, head strikes aren't legal, so I probably won't be throwing them that high too often. My ceiling here is fairly low, so I won't be able to like use my waster in here probably, unless I want to do some like real close work. This is my waster. It's like 3 feet. I might be bouncing off the ceiling if I try to use that here. But I have this. I have like a butterfly sword. Got a small knife. Got an axe. And my shield's back there. So it'll be nice. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm happy I finally figured it out and got it done. So I tried making this video probably 6 times, so I really hope someone finds it useful. And if you do, or even if you don't, let me know what you're doing if you have Pells hung up at your place or standing at your place. If you've come up with a different thing that people haven't seen, I'd love to see what you're doing. The nice thing about something like this is I wanted to get it in my office because I talk to and learn with people out of state, so I wanted to be in an area where I could shoot video, and I've already been setting up my office to shoot video, so I wanted to be able to have it in my office and talk to people online, drag the Pell over, show things, practice things, just have a really good back and forth. So I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for watching.